Just so you know, Haley, you're muted.
Oh, how's this?
That's much better.
Okay, that's good.
But everybody can see the rooms, not just well, we did figure out the owl with the bird's eye view, but it was very,
Yeah.
and if you had a small
The
space.
sound was that was so tough before, so that's a great thing.
We also have solid furniture now. So the plastic tables act like a speaker.
Yeah.
That's good.
So solid furniture does not act like speakers. We'll wait another minute. See Rita there.
I'm gonna eat all these granola bars myself because
I know, right?
these are up for grabs. Anybody can have one.
All right, for now.
Rita's always got this stuff which I find myself eating like this. I was in Trader Joe's the other day, which I'd never go to, and I saw.
No, I go to Trader Joe's occasion.
It's just chaotic. The parking lot.
Yeah, well, I saw you and
Yeah.
like couldn't even have a conversation. in 2 seconds.
Oh, I mean, I am totally
The store
impressed.
could be 3 times as big and still be as busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm impressed with how they've got it really organized. So they just
Very efficient.
very efficient. Like it's unbelievable. I've read a book about supermarkets recently and it
Oh,
talked
Why
about
the-
Trader
how
Joe's.
they're set up.
wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the same one I read. They talk about traders and how it was.
Yeah. I think they talked about shrimp. Do you remember?
Oh.
I haven't,
yeah, so
I almost,
yes,
I almost haven't eaten shrimp since I read that.
So massive, but the book was fascinating.
All grocery stores are set up the same, except sometimes produce is on the left, sometimes it's on the right. But every grocery store is set up the same.
It's because they make the most money off of produce.
Back.
No, that's the heat.
Oh.
Usually it's this one here. That must be the one in the kitchen. Okay, it's 5:01. Shall we call ourselves to order?
Or here, Dora.
Here comes Rita. We're gonna give Rita a second to come in and get herself situated.
I lost track of time, sorry.
That's okay.
It's usually gets so dark. So
I know, and you take a nap in the afternoon, bad. Okay. I'm here.
we're just calling ourselves to order.
Okay.
So we'll review the agenda. First, we have public comments. And then our general business tonight is review and approve our meeting minutes from December 9th. The 2 sets for December 9th and the December 16th. Discussion of long-term financial implications for the town. One item being trash and recycling removal. And the second, health insurance, and Ajay from finance and Meryl are here with us tonight. Review and approve combined environmental preferred purchasing policy. Review and execute the DocuSign for the FY 26 local cultural council program contract. Review and sign National Grid Central to Western Mass Energy Improvement Project letter. Review and approve the police department's request for a police donations account. Police chief search committee finalists to be announced. Review and sign multi-town intermunicipal agreement, Pelham's choice of payment for the middle school roof project. And 2 unexpected items, which is bill and sign for COG FY 24 budget notice and signatory authorization form, and sign the GZA proposal for change order number 2, their professional consulting service, and then town administrator reports. Anything else popped up at all? No, Rita, Eric, are you
No.
in the order or?
That sounds great.
All right. So if you'd like to make a public comment, if you're here in the room or online, please use your raised hand feature. All right, seeing none, we will continue on with our meeting. So let's review the minutes from December 9th. The one at 4:30 and the one at 5.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of December 9th, 2025 for the 4:30 meeting.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Was there any edits or corrections? No. All those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
McPherson, aye. The second section at 5 p.m. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Any edits or need for clarifications on those?
I don't think so.
No, I was good.
All those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
And the third set for the evening, which is 12/16/2025.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes. That was the fastest I think we've ever gotten minutes.
That's Brennan.
I was, what, those can't possibly be
Uh-oh.
from last
Hey,
night.
Brennan, are you listening? I just found a mistake.
Oh, no.
Go for it.
Go for it, you said.
So,
They can mean an edit.
edit. I mean, edit. On the third page, it says adjourn the meeting at, and it says PM, there's no number there. It just says PM.
That's a great catch.
Isn't that a great catch?
It's like six, I think it was about 6:20.
They're taking
Yeah.
bets, these guys are apparently taking bets and whatnot.
You're very astute.
Somebody's gonna find anything. I think it was 6:20. I remember
That sounds
saying.
like-
Yeah, it sounds like that's right.
6:20, all right.
Mhm.
There you go.
Okay. Do all those in favor of the amended minutes?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
Make be Sonia, aye. Thank you very much for all of those, Brennan.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the discussion of long-term financial implications for the town, one being trash and recycling removal, and the second health insurance. But Jay is here online, the FinCom, and Meryl is here in their room. Your recycling coordinator.
Here and there. There we go.
Your choice.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the table.
Thank you.
So Jay?
Yeah, sure. So,
Gonna move on.
thanks,
All the food.
thanks,
This is important.
thanks for the opportunity. So, I'm really here on behalf of the FinCom to just kind of flag, these two issues that I think have important, significant kind of long-term financial implications for the town. And I'm really just here to sort of ask whether the select board thinks it makes sense to kind of work on them jointly and kind of proactively. This is not a conversation that I think is going to have any input on the FY27 budget that we're putting together now. It's really more that I think the FinCom is trying to get better about sort of long range planning. And I think there were a number of comments and suggestions at that joint meeting of department heads that sort of spoke to the importance of kind of thinking about some of these sort of big picture issues as opposed to just like the dealing with the very sort of concrete, like what are we going to sort of, how are we going to budget for this upcoming year? And so I think the two issues that have come up in recent FinCom discussions, I'm really glad Meryl is here because first of all, I think she can tell us precisely. I understand, I think our trash and recycling hauling contract is sort of up for or is expiring. Is it next year or is it after this year? I know it's coming up soon, but
So
I think-
June, do you want me to answer you?
yes, please.
June 30th, 2027 is the
Okay.
fifth year on the contract. However, we
Okay.
do have an option to renew it, extend it for one further year. And I've
Okay.
actually already been in touch with Casella about doing that, and they said it's too early to talk about.
Okay.
But they're open to it.
Okay.
They're
got
open
it. So-
to it, but it's too early to talk numbers.
All right. So under that contract, we have this current fiscal year, another fiscal year, and then potentially an option to extend. And does the contract have a cost for that option year that's sort of in the ballpark of the sort of step increases that have been built in over the 5 years, or is it fairly consistent with those?
I can't answer that for
Okay.
sure, but that would
Okay.
be my hope that they would do that. And I will
Yeah.
say that when we were negotiating with Casella, when we did this contract,
Mhm.
we actually negotiated the price down every single year. So they're open to working with us. I think
Okay,
they
great.
like working in Shutesbury, and they've been
Yeah.
terrific to work
Okay.
with.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So I
So,
hope we could work something out on that.
yeah, so a couple things already encouraged me. One, I wasn't aware of that there's another year, the potential to extend that for another year. That's good news. And I think so I think that issue might not be particularly urgent, but I think it would be a good idea for us to sort of think about sort of studying different options when it comes time to renegotiate that contract. Be prepared in the event that you know my recollection is that there was a fairly significant increase from the previous contractor that we used to
We
Casella.
put the previous contractor out of business because they bid so low. I'm not
Right.
kidding. They
Yes,
went
no,
out of business. So,
Why?
so we still, what's that?
Why? I'm sorry.
The previous contract, we got such good price on it that they couldn't do it. They
Oh,
went out
they're
of business.
they're losing
And
money. Uh,
they went bankrupt.
uh,
And Casella was the low bid and they were the only bidder who continued to allow for bag pickup curbside at the home as opposed to switching us to automated pickup.
right. Um,
Automated
automated meaning
being-
those
The
pickup
automated
those
being,
crane things. Yeah.
not having people unload the trash into the back, but have a machine grab the
Yeah.
big green toter, or the big toters and everyone and having them pull in. And let me just for a second say that I have been attending a DEP sponsored curbside contracting group. It's talking about contracts and how we can get the best contracts with our curbside with just solid waste management. And I will say at the first meeting, I quickly found out that our contract is one of the best ones in terms of we have not had any of the problems that the other towns have had. We spent a lot of time coming up with a contract that didn't have a lot of loopholes and problems in it. So as a result, we have a great relationship with our contractor and things have gone very smoothly. And even other towns that have Casella have had more problems. And it's because we wrote a tight contract and it's proven to be very good to the town.
That's great. Okay, so I think when it comes time to negotiate a new contract, which it sounds like might not actually happen for some time, especially if we end up extending the current contract for another year. I think the FinCom was suggesting that it might be a useful process to have kind of a joint working group kind of structure to look at a few different options. Be prepared in the event that the new proposals come in at a significantly higher cost than what we're experiencing right now or what we have budgeted right now, and look at a range of options, including including the sort of transfer station option. But I think that I think we're probably a couple years away from needing to have that conversation. So
I did prepare for that for tonight, though, and
Yeah,
I would
please.
actually like to address that at
Yeah, that'd be great.
tonight, so I can get it on the record early.
Yeah, please.
And well, are you done though? I don't want to. If you want to
Yes.
keep going,
No, I'm
Okay.
done on that issue. And then there's a sort of second issue that's unrelated to trash and recycling that I wanted
Okay.
to flag.
and I will say that I've been on the recycling committee since about 1991, something like that. So this is like my fifth, sixth contract
Mhm.
period that I've gone through. So I have a good amount of experience with it. And over the years, as you can imagine, the recycling committee and Gary Bernhardt was very knowledgeable, hardworking as well. We looked at a lot of other options. One of
Mhm.
them we looked at in detail was getting our own trash trucks and picking up the trash ourselves.
Mhm.
And there were so many hurdles related to that. I mean, the
Mhm.
biggest one being labor,
Mhm.
and keeping people to do that, but there were a lot of costs with it. So
Yeah.
we never went forward with that.
Mhm.
Also, I just have some notes on the concept of a transfer station.
Yeah.
And I would say the biggest item with that is that you would be providing a much lower level of service to Shutesbury residents. You'd be
Mhm.
going from trash pickup at people's driveways to having to have everybody in town drive who knows where to dispose of their trash, and recycling. What would probably happen too is some people would pay to keep curbside pickup, so it would cost them a lot more money individually. And then if you're talking about actually citing a transfer station,
Mhm.
that is an extremely involved and difficult process. I mean, at a minimum, you'll have people having to drive there all over town for wherever they're going to dispose of their trash. Adds to traffic, adds to pollution, and I will think it will add big time to more trash in the woods because
Mm.
people are lazy. I hate to say that, but they are. And if it's too hard for them to get somewhere, they're just going to start dumping it around town. I don't think anyone wants that. I was in touch with DEP about what the process is to actually put in a transfer station. And
Mhm.
if you thought we had a difficult job citing the library, try citing a transfer station with regular vehicles coming and going all the time, heavy trucks coming and going, potentially smells from the stuff. Do you want it next to your house?
Yeah,
I think that would be
I was gonna offer, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more in line of putting a solar farm in rather than a necessarily.
It would just be very hard. And it's not just, the noise and smell nuisances that you'd have, but the siting complex, the siting process is really complex as well. There's a long process for handling the waste. You can't have it within a zone one public water supply, intra-well. There's just like lots of rules. You can't have it within 250 feet of an occupied residential dwelling, or, I mean, there's just so many details about siting it that would be really difficult.
someone's waiting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And if you could meet those, then it will take a lot of permitting, a lot of expensive consultant expertise to prepare the applications and get the certification.
Yeah.
And who's going to pay all those costs?
Hmm.
Then
Who's gonna staff it?
who's going to pay for the property? Who's going to staff a facility? There'd be lots of additional costs. You got to purchase the roll-offs and the containers to hold the solid waste. You may need dedicated heavy equipment to move around trash and solid waste. You have to get a hauler to empty your containers. I mean, lots of other unknown costs that probably come up. Monitoring the site for environmental regulations, just a lot to it.
Yeah.
Who is going to oversee the operation and the siting of the transportation of the town? I will tell you that the Recycling and Solid Waste Committee does not have the time, the expertise as a volunteer committee to take on something at that level. I can't imagine that the town administrator would be thrilled to take that on as a new job because it'd probably take all their time. So I would say the finance committee would be the ideal group to take on this
I think-
effort.
So here's my sort of perspective on it. I think, best case scenario, we're lucky to have an experienced negotiator in you, and we'll have a new contract that's reasonable and in line with what we're currently paying, and there won't be any need to sort of consider other options. I think
Yeah.
the thought
I wasn't
I
done.
think no, I'm sure there's a lot. I think the thought was to just have kind of some of the research that you've clearly already done right now in place, so that we could, in the event that
Yeah.
contract, that new contract, that our next contract comes in at a significantly higher cost, that we could present to the community a couple of potential options, and then it's ultimately their decision about sort of which direction to move. So I appreciate all of the concerns you mentioned. I guess what
I
maybe.
actually had more if I can just finish with
Yeah, sure.
what I
Go
had.
ahead. Yep,
Okay.
go ahead.
So another thing is we now have what's called a pay-as-you-throw program, which is the bags that we give out to everyone. And the whole concept of using those is to encourage people to generate less trash and to recycle more, because recycling is free and trash costs more. So how do you even do that with a transfer station? So our recycling rates would probably go down. So that just in terms of the environment would be very disappointing. And I also just looked at the possibility of trying to double on with Leverett and see if they could take our trash. And I have a copy of their contract, and they're limited to 10 tons of trash per day, 2,000 tons per year. And they're supposed to only be doing Leverett's solid waste. Well, they've worked with us, and we have a deal that we can take bulky waste there, and that's fabulous for the town, because we went from having two bulky waste days a year in town to 3 days a week when town residents can go to the Leverett transfer station to get rid of bulky waste. So that's a huge increase in the level of service for really minimal cost to the town. So, I mean, there's just then you have people driving out of town. Who knows if Leverett would do this? I would actually be really cautious to even approach them with this concept, because they might just say, forget it, you're out of here. I don't know if they would do that, but I didn't call them because I was afraid that I would, open a can of worms. And just say, let's say they don't do it. So then what are you going to do? Drive to New Salem and have people driving there? Because it's going to be next to impossible to site a land transfer station in Shutesbury. So anyway, I just want to make sure you knew that that's a really tough direction to go. And in terms of, we did our best job in terms of, we're in touch with lots of other solid waste or recycling coordinator people in the area. And we also have a really good representative at DEP who supports us all. And they let us know what contractors are out there and what they're doing, who the haulers are, are they good, they bad, whatever. And that's been very helpful to know, how likely it is that there's going to be a big jump in the price. But, part of the jump in the last time in the price was the cost of gas went up so much during that period. So we didn't have any control over that. And, a lot of this is out of our control. They want to stay in business, and it is competitive, even though solid waste contracts are one of the few that you don't have to bid. You can just hire someone. But we've always felt that we want to get as competitive as we can. And it has remarkably turned out that the low bidder has also been the best set of qualifications, because we do an RFP process, request for proposal, and qualifications-based evaluation.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I think it's important to consider when should we involve the public in this? Because I think that, as a FinCom, recycling, if the voters want trash pickup, that's something that I think we're going to have to factor in. So maybe before we put the cart in front of the horse too much, maybe we want to do like a public comment period, or is there a way to add that to like a ballot question, for town meeting or whatever? That way we know that this is something people care about. So we're going to have to find a way to make it a reality.
I think that point's really well taken, Haley, because it's ultimately, I mean, I think it ultimately ought to be the decision of residents about kind of which direction to go. And again, I think the sort of hope is that it becomes a fairly straightforward decision, because we're going to have a decent response to the next RFP and a reasonable bid that, is from a quality contractor. Maybe it's Casella. But I think it makes sense to be prepared for the possibility that that is going to be a significant increase. And once we have some sense of where that might come in, I think it would be a good idea to have some answer to the question, is there an alternative, and what are the potential costs of that alternative, so that residents can decide whether it's worth the additional cost to them to continue with the trash pickup at their homes.
I would point out that an early town meeting I went to, and I'm guessing it was like 40 years ago, 35 or something, but it was a long time ago. But I do remember the school was packed, and people, and why was it packed? Because on the agenda, the town was going to eliminate trash pickup. And there was a riot in there. People said, no, whatever. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of,
And at the time, I think recycling was dropped off at the highway department.
Yeah,
I'm not even,
Yeah.
this may have even been before recycling even happened. I don't even remember. I mean, like they just invented
I
dirt.
remember many phases of trash pickup in my lifetime.
Eric, was there a lot of trash talking?
Anyway, I'm only
Yeah.
pointing out that I think there's a big appetite in the town for trash, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
So I will say, if you want to consider one thing that the select board town administrator could look at, but you're gonna be very unpopular,
Uh-huh.
that would be most towns or many towns charge for all their bags. They don't
Right.
give out residents 50 free bags a year. We
Right.
do that when we started the program because trash was included as part of the tax base.
Uh-huh.
So
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
that would be a way to raise money.
Yeah.
It would not be a happy way to do it, but
Right.
Yeah.
it is a way to do it. Or maybe you say you get 20 free bags, so you get 30. So anyway,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
an option of, keeping the level of service we have,
Right.
but also making people realize that it's a very generous service.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I don't
I think-
advocate that, though. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
It's one of the things to just think about,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last thing I'll say on this is just that I think like a lot of things, this is a question of, obviously it's pretty straightforward. Everybody would prefer to continue to have their trash picked up, than have to haul it themselves to a transfer station. Everybody would prefer to not have to pay for bags. I mean, all of it, right? So, but it's a question of like, okay, we all value this service, but we pay a price. Every taxpayer is paying a price for that service. And so what is the right sort of balance? Right now, I think it's fairly straightforward. And I think most people are comfortable with the expense that this is to the town. But in the event that it does become significantly more costly to continue in this direction in the future, I think it does make sense to have some alternative options presented to the town and for us to get some feedback on.
Just to
Yeah.
respond to that too, is so that group that I'm a part of, there
Yep.
are other small towns like Richmond, Mass, who actually have bags at the curbside, and they're coming up for a new contract before we do. So I will get the information about the pricing and whether they're able to stay with bags.
That would be awesome.
So-
I think, and again, I think it is early, but I do think that at some point it may make sense for us to do some additional investigation into this idea of kind of jointly operating, or kind of costing out, and even determining whether it's feasible to jointly operate a transfer station with Leverett, which I think you spoke to some of the concerns about their existing contract, and that has caps in terms of how much trash can be picked up from the trans. So I'd be curious. Again, I think it's too early at this point to actually ask those questions, but at some point, I think it would be good to have answers to those questions as well.
Whether they're even open to it.
Yes, exactly.
Makes sense.
I will say that I've just on a a different issue related more to the regional school stuff, there has been a lot of interest in among the finance committee in Leverett in having conversations about regionalization kinds of strategies. So that doesn't mean that they would be open and excited about sharing a transfer station with us, but at least in some general sense, they seem to be interested in having conversations about regionalizing some services.
Yeah, and the traffic's gonna be a big issue, and
Mhm.
illegal dumping in town is gonna be a
Yeah.
big issue if you do that.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the most convenient place for the Leverett transfer station for many many parts of Sheetsbury. It's pretty decent drive.
And we have an
depending
aging
where you are.
population as well.
Yeah.
This,
Yep.
it's really gonna affect, the
Yeah.
elderly having to load up their cars and drive there once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it makes sense though to do our due diligence and give
Mhm.
people all the options, but and if we do that, then they can let us know how they feel, and hopefully it won't be a riot like.
Yeah, but even the scenario Eric was describing there, that's important feedback, right? Like people, if we tell people, look, you're
Find those notes.
your tax bill is gonna need to increase and by this increment because we have a new contract and it's significant. It's coming in at a significantly, the cost of doing this, of having your trash picked up is increasing quite a bit. Then we can communicate to town residents that this is precisely what that increase means for you. And if the resounding response is yeah, that sucks, but we don't want to, we're willing to accept that because we don't want to have
Fund
to
service.
we want the service. We've come to rely on it. It's important and we want to continue to have that. Then that's, valuable feedback for us. And that makes that decision a fairly straightforward one.
And hopefully a new RFP and proposals that come in
Yeah.
won't be that much more.
Right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll be higher, but hopefully
Yeah.
it's not orders of magnitude higher.
Yeah. I will say, Meryl, that, I'm just as a FinCom member, I'm very happy that we have you in the role, not just of overseeing the committee, but overseeing that RFP process. I do feel, that like that's we have a huge asset in just your experience. As you mentioned, I think you said you're on your 5th contract, whatever the number was. I know it's very reassuring to know that the person overseeing that contracting process is got a lot of experience and knows the business and knows the vendors and knows how to negotiate a fair price for the town. So I really do appreciate that.
Thank you. I do have to say though that when Gary Bernhardt was as the recycling coordinator, he and I worked really well as a team. We had backup from Gail and others on the committee as well, but the other committee members don't have as much background and knowledge about it, and it makes me nervous because if something happens to me, I'm replaceable. I'm not saying that, but there is a lot of institutional knowledge there and background, and I am not sure what would happen, but hopefully other people would step up.
Yeah.
We need some new members, young members on our committee that we can really train to get involved with this stuff a little more deeply, but you've heard that from everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the only other thing that occurs to me then is when it comes time to run that new RFP process, if it would be helpful to you to have a volunteer from the FinCom support, because I imagine it's a lot of work, writing the RFP, reviewing the responses, all that, just please, let us know. I'm sure we can, identify a member of the committee to help support that process.
Yeah, the other option there too is in the grant process that we work with DEP on, there is an option to get technical assistance. And we've done that before. to have them assist us with the contracting process, and that worked out really, really well, which is why, it's not just me that we have such a good contract. We have really good people to bounce ideas off and work with. So I'm hoping when the time comes to do the new contract that we'll be able to put in for a grant for that technical assistance again. And these are people who work in the field full time. So that would be a huge benefit to the town. And then I'd feel much better too to have that backup. Because even though I'm familiar with this stuff and I've done it a number of times, the things change over time. The regulations change, everything changes. So I would want to make sure that we were as current as possible.
Great.
Well, thank you,
All right.
Meryl.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Meryl.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
The next
Meryl.
topic.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so can I flag another issue?
I'll move back for me.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I mean, this is not news to the select board, but we did meet with Ryan, the treasurer, last night, and his guidance in reviewing his proposed FY27 budget is to anticipate a 20% increase in our health insurance premium for FY27, which is obviously on top of a over 40% increase that we have experienced in FY26. So this is, of course, a huge concern. But I think if we do end up budgeting another 20% increase for FY27, that will mean that the cost of health insurance for town employees will have increased 67% since fiscal year 25. So a 2-year period. I mean, it's stunning. And, we all know this is a trend in the industry, and we're not alone. I mean, like, obviously the other municipalities are dealing with this, but I think, I was encouraged to hear from Ryan about, what sounded to me like a fair amount of research he's been doing into looking at alternative options, including GIC and Maya. The conclusion of his research is that our best outcome would be to continue with the trust and actually hope that it remains solvent, and that's not a given at this point. And so we may be forced to find another provider in the future. But it just occurs to me that I'm not here to present or ask for a particular, advocate for a particular solution. I wouldn't know what that solution is, but I think it's important for us to kind of work together and along with Ryan to study some different options. There's on the one hand, there's the provider, right? Who is going to be our health insurance provider. And then there's a sort of separate conversation about what are the policies that, the town adopts. Right now, we have a very generous policy where we cover 75% of the costs for all employees. That's a decision that we make as a town. Obviously, that's not imposed upon us by the provider. So I think I don't have a specific ask here, other than perhaps there's an opportunity to create, I don't know if it's a working group or some mix of people to kind of support Ryan and think through some of the big picture issues, because this has become, I just think, such an important financial issue for the town. And it really is, it's not just, it doesn't just impact the budget. It obviously impacts employees or who are having to pay significant increases in their premiums. So I'm just very worried about this whole issue and wanted to gauge whether there's some interest in kind of having sort of conversations about what the sort of best path forward is, and not just have I feel like we're always sort of focused on the issue of next year's budget, next, like what do we budget for next year? And we don't have the opportunity to have sort of more long-term conversation.
Jay, I don't know if this is helpful.
Mhm.
It's different from municipalities, but my company just had their open enrollment and there was no increase in health insurance
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah.
To the company or to the employees. I don't know if that's helpful or not here.
Yeah.
But that's, kind of forward looking into next year.
Yeah.
It might be, but anyway.
I think the discussion should start now.
Mhm. Yes.
As soon as possible. And I would assume, and I don't know if Ryan spoke to this or Haley, you're familiar. I mean, we're not alone. Everybody
Mhm.
within the Hampshire County Consortium, so we, is facing the same thing.
Mhm.
So I think there's there's something to be learned from other communities about what are they looking at too, and kind of what strategies are they thinking about. So, is the employee match higher than it is now, or if we're, deductibles or, whatever.
Mhm.
And then what is the cutoff for who qualifies? Because I know I've raised this a number of times, is, we have people whose health coverage is probably, we pay more than they actually make. So we had low paid employees and the health coverage is so expensive, especially when you look at family versus individual. So I think it would behoove us to look, just as a community, but also, are the towns talking amongst themselves? Has there been any
Yes,
organization?
I don't know if there's been a formal organization. I know some folks are looking at the GIC, but like Ryan pointed out last night, they also are facing a significant deficit. So the state's own option isn't even doing financially very well.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think, I'm not thinking so much about like where we go, is
Mhm.
what we offer.
policies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What our policies are.
I think it would be good. I think a working group would be good. You certainly would want to make sure that there's employee representation. As we look at, do we shift some of the cost burden to our employees? You have to factor in, well, we're a small community, our hourly wages are not very competitive. So that could be a way to attract talent. So there's a lot of layers, but I know some places are also looking at buyouts, and things like that to kind of incentivize people to go
Right.
elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. If you have a partner or spouse and
Right.
you could provide a benefit, a cash benefit for somebody to go on to somebody, let's push the burden elsewhere. They'll all be shifting around.
Yeah.
But they can go work for Melissa's company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that would be good, and having Ryan involved, and then looking beyond our borders to say what, can we start talking to some other communities about
Yeah.
about policies. When I say policies, I don't mean insurance policies, but rather
Yeah.
policies about what the benefit looks like.
Yeah. So I think that is, so what you're suggesting, Rita, which I think makes a lot of sense, is that this group of people's kind of first task could be to do some data collection and some research to be able to answer some of these questions that we really don't know right now, which is how does our compensation policy compare to other towns?
Yeah.
How do our coverage levels, our
Yeah.
deductible? I mean, there's a lot to it, but I think regardless of what ends up becoming the sort of recommended strategy or options out of it, I think we would all agree that having that information would be helpful. Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's maybe an opportunity to put together a group that includes Ryan, includes some FinCom representation, includes some select board representation, includes Haley, includes maybe some town employee
You want personnel board too.
personnel
Mhm.
board, yeah. The trick with these things is right, always is like you get, if it's too many people, it becomes kind of hard to actually
Unwieldy.
meet
Yeah.
and get work done. But I think all of those stakeholders sound like they'd be pretty important to have.
Yeah.
involved.
And then I think that has to be looked at in the context of contracts too.
Yeah.
Because we have probably the largest number of employees is the school. And
Yep.
so I don't know where, what kind of schedule they are with their contracts, but anytime you start talking about benefits, it becomes a, point of negotiation. So engaging with
Yep.
them early when you talk about employees is really important, and to understand what the, what is the timing, like when do those contracts expire, and how does that impact our decision making? So do you want us to,
Yeah.
yeah, do you want us to think about
Yeah, I
putting
think-
together a group?
Yeah, if you could have a conversation and think about the sort of composition of that group and what to call it, and and then if you obviously we would want to participate in that, and I'm not sure who from the FinCom it would be, but it would be but obviously we have a great deal of interest in this, so yeah, I think that would be terrific. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we could work on a kind of a scope for the
Yeah.
for the group tasks, and then kind of get that underway.
That'd be great. Appreciate it. That's really what all I had to chat about, but yeah,
Thank you.
it's happy we could flag these issues for you.
Thanks, AJ.
Okay. All right. Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
AJ. Talk to you
All
later.
right. So long.
All right, thank you, Carol, too, for your conversation. Review and approve combined environmental purchasing.
Well, a copy, I have one I can share.
I have my.
Oh,
you have
let's see if I printed it out. I'm
I printed it.
So essentially,
fighting with my printer.
it's just combined.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
And I leaned more heavily into the EEP policy that Meryl had shared and incorporated the language about local businesses. So it's not, yeah, so I mean, it's pretty straightforward in terms of what I did. So we could either go with the combine, or you could vote to rescind the current policy and replace it with Meryl's initial draft. If you follow me.
Rescind one and just replace, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
instead of doing.
Rescind and
combine.
replace.
Rescind.
That works.
Well, can I just speak to it
Yeah.
for a sec?
Oh, sure.
So, again, having been on the committee for so long, the town has made a great commitment to buying recycled products and environmentally preferable products. So that's great. And over the years, we have revised the policy to sort of reflect best practices and also to satisfy DEP requirements for grant applications that we do. So the reason why I sent an updated environmental preferable policy was because they've gotten more strict about what they want to see the town commit to in order to get the grant that we just received for $3,780. So for next year's. So I sent a simplified version, but Haley did a really nice job looking at some of the older ones. And I mean, I think as long as we have the wording and it is in the new policy, to bring in some of the old language, I think is actually kind of nice because it gives you more the justification of why we're doing it.
Mhm.
This is just straightforward, here's the policy. But the combined one, just is more informational to people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my recommendation
Yeah.
to go with the combined one, because I think,
Yeah, that
and
makes,
if anyone asks about it or why are we doing this, it gives you a lot more information.
yeah, no, I think that's great. I think that was a good,
But you still should rescind the old ones.
Yeah, so well, I'll make a motion, and I don't know the exact names. I'll make a motion to rescind our existing
Right here.
our environmental purchasing policy. Is that,
This is the most recent one from January 30th, 2025.
oh, okay. So,
EPP.
so, so revise our environmentally preferred product purchasing policy that was effective January 2025.
But we also had a buy recycle policy. Well, that one I don't think signed version, but we had a 2017 one. So it was buy
All of them?
recycle. They're all, I would rescind them
Rescind all
all
of them?
and just stick with the new combined one. Because
Yeah.
it incorporates them all and you don't want to have anyone getting confused.
Yes, that is good.
All right, so I'll amend my motion to say to rescind all previous environmentally preferred purchasing policies
And buy recycle policies,
and by
buy recycled policies.
by
So
recycle.
that's what they used to be called.
Okay,
Second,
Okay, all those in favor of rescinding those policies?
Farrell, I
Stalker, I.
Make Pete O'Neill, aye.
It should make Gail happy.
And do I hear a motion to approve the combined environmental preferred purchasing policy?
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, I.
Make Pete O'Neill, aye. Thank you. Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and I would just make the request too, that when it's all signed, that someone scan and send me that
Mhm.
copy, because I need to upload it for our next grant cycle. So
Sounds
thank
great.
you.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on to review and execute DocuSign for FY16 local cultural council program, and I have them up on my computer. Sorry, I'm not tagged in. Do you have a copy of them or no?
Only in my email.
Okay, no, that's all. So I'll do it as we talk, because I think it'll. Okay. Here we go. Continue. Okay, so the first one is for the signature for corporation or what is the title of this one? Town of Shutesbury. Okay, so do I hear a motion to sign the DocuSign contract for the town of Shutesbury for the Shutesbury Cultural Council?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, I.
Great piece. Neil, I. Haley, what's your phone number?
413. Sorry,
Yep.
I know 3 different numbers. Yes, 259-1214.
Shutesbury Select Board. Signature. Click. Oh, guess it's up here. Hold on. Sign. Signature in here. Did I prompt this? My apologies. Okay. And as we speak. Okay. And I'll download and then I'll send it to everybody who needs it. And then the second one is this is the same thing. They just sent me. Eight. Was it only one or was there two?
It's just the one. I think they gave also like a W-9 form,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think that, like I can fill that one out.
So it was just the one.
Yeah.
So we're all set there. Review and sign National Grid's Central Western Mass Energy Improvement Project.
Yes, so this letter comes to us from Michael DiChiara in his tireless work. I'm really appreciative for all that he does. He did ask though that if you sign it tonight, that there be a clause that it's pending also approval from the Conservation Commission, so that both
Okay.
people would sign the same
Mhm.
document, but it's basically just talks about our wetlands and waterways and the environmental impact of the Central to Western Mass project, the one that we went on that site visit for.
Yeah, yeah.
Brendan, I just sent you that DocuSign in YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you see it?
Great.
So you just sign it, right? We all sign it.
We do.
I'll send
Mm.
it.
Wanna sign it?
Yeah, well, I'll make the motion
Okay.
first. So I make a motion that we execute a letter to National Grid regarding the Central to Western Mass Energy Improvement Project. Any changes subject to Conservation Commission comments?
Okay. Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Carol, I
Stalker, I.
just kick them under the table.
I don't want to do that.
That's what I do.
Okay, perfect. So if Rita, do you want to sign it while you have it?
Oh, sure.
Um,
When is the Conservation Commission meeting?
Look it up. You got it. It's probably easier on the computer than.
me and technology today. I had
Not
really.
Having a tough day.
Yeah, nothing seems to work well today, which is why I'm glad I'm not driving any meetings. Uh, Oh, that's Cemetery Commission. Let's see.
Mateo's got a
One.
question there too.
Oh, maybe
yeah.
Mateo knows.
Busy looking at my phone.
I don't see them on here.
Do you want to make a comment, Mateo?
I was just gonna say the next Concom meeting is January 8th.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right.
That's very helpful.
Okay. And the next item is the police department donations, account per Mass General Law, chapter 44, 53A and F.
Yes. So I kind of nudged Devin into pursuing this sooner than he might have otherwise thought to. So the impetus for this is, they were doing the community giving tree, and there are some folks who felt like maybe they didn't have enough money to buy the best gift, or there were no more ornaments on the tree. So having the donation account will allow people to send checks, which could be used to buy, wrapping paper. If you wanted to open it up and have like a community wrapping party, you could buy hot chocolate for people. And I think he has a couple other ideas in mind too. Like if you ever did like a movie night, people can donate to that account. So it's just a way for them to have, I think it helps augment the community policing budget. And obviously donations are always voluntary and never expected. So I urge
Yep.
him to go for that. So, and then once you approve, Gail can set up the account and go from there.
Okay.
And I had just, when I had seen this, I had asked Haley, remember when we had that whole discussion around the legal, setting up a
Yep.
legal account, and Donna got involved, but she said this is really different.
this is
That was,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we
Yeah.
weren't
Good
making
question.
any mistakes here. So, so I will move that we approve the police department's request for a police donations account.
Okay,
Second,
any further questions? All those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, aye.
Megan Houston, lie. Perfect. And the next one is Police Chief Search Committee finalists to be announced.
Yes.
Haley.
So, and finally read this announcement letter. I'm just going to name the committee members to start. So the committee consisted of our select board representative Melissa Makepeace O'Neill. We had Police Chief Gabe Ting.
Amherst.
Yep, from Amherst. We had community members, John Hersey, who is a former police chief, Andy Reagan, who is on the volunteer fire department, and Kelly Searcy, who is a law student at UMass. We also had personnel board rep Kathy Salvador and Mary Jo Johnson from the COA. So it's a really robust group that I think covers a lot of.
We also had Haley.
Oh, yeah.
Haley.
Yes. You had me. So thank you for that extra time to do the reference check. So I was able to complete that. And we, as a committee, we met on, my God, was it last week? Yeah, the 11th. And so we went over all the references and we're ready now to make our recommendations. So I am very pleased to announce that Mr. Ben Peters and Mr. Devin Pelletier are our finalists. And this, I actually do need to read from the paper. Mr. Peters is an experienced law enforcement professional with 9 years of experience as a full-time officer and specialized training as an FBI certified crisis and hostage negotiator, sexual assault investigator. He is committed to community policing and is noted for founding an internship program and as a police cadet program and co-founding one of the largest public safety events in the state. He's currently a full-time officer and holds a seat on the Franklin County Police Cadet Program and Sunderland Health Advisory Committee. And Mr. Pelletier has been our acting police chief and sergeant, a dual role. He has 6 years of law enforcement experience, and he demonstrates a service-oriented and a transparent leadership style. And he has successfully managed the department's budget, implemented community policing strategies, repaired intertown relationships, and holds specialized certifications, including school resource officer and sexual assault investigator. So we feel very confident that you have a very tough decision before you.
I have a question. Was there any academy certification that either one of them, I remember when our previous police chief was hired, I don't know, didn't she have to go for some additional
She has a
certification?
So, yeah, she had to finish the give me a second. The bridge program. She hadn't finished the bridge program.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So
that,
both of these candidates
Yeah.
have,
yeah,
okay,
they would have had to, because they would have had
Yeah.
regulation now.
yeah, okay.
And I did learn that there is like a police chief course or some kind of extra training opportunities that are available to new chiefs. So certainly we would encourage them to make full use of that. And so my question now is, do you want to try to do interviews on December 30th or do you want to do them on January 6th at a normal meeting? Because I don't think we were set up to meet next 2 Tuesdays from now.
So the interviews would be open to the public, so we would be doing the interviews.
Yeah, and then we would meet in executive session to.
And we'd meet in executive session,
And we can't vote in executive. We'd have to come out and vote.
right? And would we set it up so that would the public have an opportunity to ask questions, or we would just it just be us? We would
Yes.
be doing the interview and it's not,
They can
Right.
observe.
I can observe. So if that's if that's the case, either one of those dates work.
Yeah.
For me, I would think it was December 30th. And the public was engaged in some way. A lot of people aren't around. It's the middle of the holiday weeks. but we record everything, right?
Right, do that.
And so people, anybody interested, citizens could come to that meeting, or if they weren't able to attend,
Yep.
then they could get it on
They
YouTube.
could watch it. They could also email questions to the select board email address. Certainly people want to make a comment, they're always welcome to do it that way.
Right.
So that's an option. I like the 30th in the sense that it keeps us kind of on the track of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, it's all contingent on, I need to verify with the finalists
Yeah,
that they're
right.
free that night.
Right.
But that I think would be a good opportunity.
So do we want to set a date as the 30th being preferred, and if not, then after the 6th?
Yeah,
But-
yeah, why don't we see,
Okay, yeah.
is that good with you? Yeah, so if they can make it, let's try, because it would be nice to just keep this process going.
Yes.
And to do
agree.
something in this fiscal year, I mean, in this calendar year. Okay, so
And yeah,
that sounds, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Sounds good.
Do we have, if we're gonna be doing the interviews that night, I know at some point you had broached with us, providing questions.
yes, I have some questions. So maybe the three of us can meet at some point, or if one of you just, however you want to do it, I can just send them to you and you can each review them and send comments back to me individually. If you want to save time, we could meet as a group. It's up to you.
Before the 30th? So we don't have anything scheduled between now and the 30th. Correct.
And that would be, in this case, that would be an executive session, right? Because we wouldn't
Yes,
want to.
we wouldn't want people to know the questions.
Right.
So we can do it at any point, I guess.
And they're all pretty much ready to go. Like, as a search committee, one of the things we did talk about on the 11th was what we might ask, for a good second round, because, we had that familiarity with the candidates already,
Right.
so
Right.
I don't anticipate there being many major changes to them.
So it'd be a good meeting.
I think so.
Yeah.
Um,
We can do that.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I didn't feel like.
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah, that would be good. So just find a time between now and the 30th. So you would send us out the questions and then we get comments back to you. And then we could meet and just
Yeah.
like an hour or something, maybe not even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be any part of the day.
Are you around the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, the only thing about the 30th itself is I have a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock in Boston. So I'll be, but as long as we start at 7 o'clock, if we would do a 5 o'clock thing like we've been doing, I think I'd be
Okay,
Later.
pretty tight.
yeah,
If it's like 7 o'clock,
Yeah, that'd be like
Yeah.
just one, that'd be just a one.
We could start it at
Do that.
5:30.
what's that?
no,
Do you-
but his appointments, it takes some, like, he
No, I
might
know.
not easily get,
Okay, so when do you
Kind
want
of
to start
close.
them?
yeah,
Theoretically?
6:30, so,
6:30
Yeah,
or 7.
6:30 or 7 should be all right.
and we can just have this as the one topic for that meeting since it's out of our normal schedule, right?
Yeah, why don't we do it at 7?
You want to do it at 7? Then we're asking
Would be
people to
late.
interview at 8.
Yeah, okay, why don't we, all right, do it at 6:30.
6:30.
That's,
think that works?
that's safe.
I think so. I mean, it's a doctor's appointment. I mean, I don't know if they say, somebody had their leg amputated or something. I don't know, doctors are.
They decide to amputate your leg
Your
while
leg.
you're there.
Definitely not.
But,
Do we want to do the 6th then? Is that easier? If you have your doctor's.
What about that Monday? How is that Monday?
The 29th? I think I'm good on that.
Would that work for either of you?
Monday, the 29th, that would work for me. I just have to, yeah. And that could be anytime.
It's okay to say no.
Yeah, why don't, no, I know I have something on the 29th, but it could be like a doctor's appointment in the morning. So I think the,
Want to do 6 then?
yeah, 6 on the 29th.
6th on the 29th? Okay.
That should work.
Okay, yeah, that's safer. Then you're not nervous driving fast back here.
Right, hey, you're right, get a ticket for the meeting. I'm going to a meeting to hire the police. That's why I'm going so fast. Yeah, maybe get a police escort.
So police chief interviews, so one would be, will it take an hour, Melissa, in your estimation, just from the interviews that you did before?
You need an hour for each?
Each, yeah,
Why don't we schedule for 45?
okay,
45 minutes?
okay, all right.
And then maybe leave an hour, like, you give a little.
Oh, because we have to, right, we have to come
We have
back.
to talk, we have to, right, so then we,
Right.
so then after we
I see,
interview
yeah.
the second.
Yeah,
we go into exec session, have our,
okay, okay,
comments, and then vote when we come out.
all right. So 6:30.
So what time are we gonna start?
6 o'clock start.
6.
6
start,
o'clock
yeah.
start, okay.
Oh, I put 8 AM, well, that would have been.
So 2 interviews plus our deliberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the one topic unless anything emergency pops up.
Yeah.
Right,
That you
Hopefully.
need to handle.
Hopefully not.
that sounds good.
Yeah, okay, good. And you'll get us the questions.
Resumes.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent.
And next is to review and sign multi-town municipal agreement, Pelham's choice for payment.
Yes, so this basically is Pelham wants to pay for it out of, I believe, free cash. They don't typically like to borrow anything. Yes, but because we're part of a district, every town needs to agree to that. So I think there's only a place for one signature.
Yep.
But as long as you agree that that's okay for Pelham to do.
Yeah.
You were welcome
I
to
think
sign it.
and pay.
They can do
however
whatever
they
they
Yeah.
like.
As long as they come up with the
Whatever
money,
I don't,
just give
I
me,
don't-
show me the money.
I
Um,
don't have a problem with that.
So you want me to make the motion, Eric?
Yeah,
So I'll make a motion that we execute the multi-town intermunicipal agreement that provides for Pelham paying their share of the middle school roof in cash. Sorry,
free cash.
free cash.
Free cash. Okay,
That would be a crazy amount of cash.
that would be.
Second.
All those in favor?
Farrell, I.
Stalker, I.
Make peace, O'Neill, aye. Okay. And unexpected business to fill out the FERCog FY 27 budget notice and signatory authorization form.
Yes, so the FERCog needs you to assign someone to sign contracts for bidding and such, so whoever you want to nominate, and I wanted to get this done at this meeting because it's due January 9th, and I didn't want to push it out too far to get it back to them, so
And this is for purchasing for
Yeah.
the shared materials that
Yeah.
they do.
all the shared
Yeah.
bids like for heat and gas.
Yeah. Okay,
Do I hear a motion?
and so do we have to designate?
You have to designate someone, so it could either be one of you, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why just have you do it? Yeah. Okay, so, I move that we, assign, whatever. Endorse Haley to. We designate, thank you, Eric. Designate Haley to sign the FERCog FY 27 budget notice and signatory authorization form. Okay.
Generator just started?
But they're having a broadband meeting, so I wonder if it's because of that, if maybe they're testing something.
I
Oh,
believe they're
that's
testing
great.
routers.
okay. And GCA. Oh, Farrell, I.
Stalker, I.
Generator.
And DVA.
Yes, so. And pass
Um,
that on.
Haley, I did print out more copies if you want me to bring them down.
Yes, please. So I just got an email while we were having this meeting from GZA with an update that's very timely.
Right.
So I might have to amend some comments I made last night. But essentially what I have before you is a contract for the scope of work and the permitting, the repair project that GZA is going to undertake for us. And as soon as we get this started, they can have their contractor come and work on it.
Thank you, Brennan.
Thank you. So happy news is for the costs of the development of the scope of work and for the permitting, we are able to use the dam and seawall grant that we were previously awarded. So that part will not cost the town additional funds. Now, the not so happy news that is now in front of you is that we still have the repair work cost. So the GZA has estimated that to cost $72,700. We do have a small cushion, so there were some remaining funds from the grant and the CPA match. So just by my rough math, what the town is looking at for costs is about $57,000, which is still significant, but we can get a little chunk off of that. So certainly that's something that I will be forwarding to AJ and the finance committee for their next meeting. But we do need to get this contract signed so that we can meet state requirements for repair work, getting underway.
Plus this contract has a contingency, so it might actually be. It
Yeah.
could be.
Right, less 14,000, yeah. So can you break that down again? The one that we had was like 37,500.
Yes.
That was just the, what do you call it, pre-development work.
Yes.
And then on top of that, we have another 72.
Wait, hold on.
I'm just confused about. So 37.5 was GZA services exclusively. How much was our original grant? Was like 48,000?
It was, well, here, this is what they sent me. I'm sorry, I didn't have more time to prepare. They emailed me as we were talking.
One question I have, this doesn't have to go out to bid.
No, actually, it doesn't reach the threshold, and we had already engaged them.
Okay,
This is a change order to the contract.
okay.
So it was 55,100 was the original maintenance repair cost estimate. And then you subtract 37.5. And then the 14,000, is that an already approved
I
CPA?
believe so, because they say that
Yeah.
it's in there as a match.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Oh, I'm not
So
complaining either.
we only have,
No, no.
Sure.
we only have 3,600 left to put towards this 72. So that's a lot of money. I mean, the finance committee doesn't even, what was their reserve amount this year? Wasn't it around $75,000?
Yeah, and they've made 2 transfers out of that. So it's just, yeah, we're gonna have to look at. Well, like I said, there are other grants that are also coming on board that GZA has indicated that they will help us with. But we are looking at having to absorb that full cost somewhere.
But that wouldn't, we would need to have a special town meeting. I mean, we don't have money.
To appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah. Could put together that. It's tough because it's emergency. So
I don't know. Is there anything, or maybe you remember, like in an emergency basis, can you take it out of taxation? I don't.
well, maybe that's a conversation too for Donna.
Yeah. And AJ, I can't imagine that you would. I mean, like you can overspend on your highway.
Yeah, snow removal.
But,
The dry
yeah.
things you can't overspend.
Right.
But,
But that we couldn't overspend on,
right.
this sort of thing. Maybe there is a provision in the general.
I would think so because the state is mandating that the repair will happen. So there's gotta be some kind of contingency for that.
Yeah, so I guess we can,
Take it maybe from free cash and vote on it after the fact, if you had to.
Yeah.
Right, like if you pay it initially and then vote
yeah,
the funding after.
you know, if it was an emergency, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So that would be,
And this is the type of expense that free cash would be that crazy to use. That is to say, it's,
no, it isn't, except it would wipe us out for the rest of the, you know, and then some. We don't have enough free cash.
no, we have free cash, we just don't have it in the budget. We have free cash, right, don't we?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not free cash. I meant in
In the
FinCom
FinCom
reserve.
reserve.
Right, right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have the free
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not a bad way to spend free cash. It's,
No.
in
it's funding
theory,
will
this
be
is a
appropriately.
one-time, yeah,
Right.
as opposed to balancing the budget with it or
Right.
something. But it's theoretically sort of a one-time event or whatever, certainly.
Right, it's like.
So-
one-off.
Yeah.
So do we know, I mean, when this is done, is this all the work that we were anticipating doing?
I don't believe so.
No, this was.
Yeah, this is just to get us,
Testing and bringing us up to 4, right?
yeah, this is to get us out of the unsafe designation that we're in. And obviously, I mean, I'll follow up with them more tomorrow because they, you know, like I said, they just sent me this at like 5 o'clock.
Right.
So I'll have some homework to do in the morning, but I don't believe that that's gonna do the work that we initially thought that it was, just based on my prior conversations with them.
I gotta say, when I looked at at their submittal for the, again, I call it pre-development, but it's the, you know, task 1 through 6, 37,500 seemed like a lot of money. I mean, we're doing $75,000 worth, $72,000 worth of construction, or really 58, if you before the, and we're spending $37,000 for designer services, coordination, inspection, emergency repair permitting, designer services during construction. It's almost $14,000.
Well, I mean, but if you look at it, there's so many permits that they had to apply for.
Right.
And all of this is being done, I'm sure emergency work costs much more than,
But I mean, the line item there is designer services during construction, and the construction itself is $23,000.
right?
And the designer services overseeing construction is $14,000. I'm rounding up a little bit. I mean, I'm not an engineer. It just seemed like an exorbitant amount of money. But we're kind of over a barrel here, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it does make some sense to me because it doesn't seem like it's gonna take a large feat to fix what the dam is. But, you know, when you're an engineer and you're getting, you know, I mean, like emergency response alone was almost $6,000. Right.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just,
But
I know, yeah.
I would just ask them, why is the oversight line that high in the 37 in the redevelopment sort of phase? Designer services during construction. Why is it that high? Are they on site every day? And so are we paying people? It would just be nice to have some explanation for that particular line item.
maybe it has something to do with the contractor pricing.
Well, I wouldn't think so, because that's them. That's GZA that's getting paid. That's not in
No,
the
they actually-
actual,
They have to select a qualified contractor.
uh-huh,
So maybe that's part of what's driving the cost up.
yeah.
But I'll definitely ask.
I would
them.
just ask. I'd like an explanation.
But can we sign this even if we can, I mean,
If we don't have the money. So we're committing to something we don't have the money for. It's a good
That's a good
question.
question.
Maybe we should say subject to. that we need to,
Yeah,
Mhm.
were they gonna go ahead and get started right away as soon as they had
They
this?
it's a legal obligation. They have to start the process within 14 days of the dam,
Issue.
yeah, of the emergency certification or emergency notice. So yeah, it's a legal
we don't
requirement
have
that they
any.
have to.
Yeah,
And we submitted that we submitted that on the 3rd and it's already the 14th.
right.
No,
That's
it's,
17th.
yeah, sorry.
So would a motion that we execute the change order for the Lake Wyola emergency dam repair funding to be worked out? FinCom?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to, I mean, like you said,
Funding source to be,
there's not enough in their reserve fund, but
No.
we do have free cash that could be applied towards that.
But that would have to be, unless if there's some provision in state statute for an emergency that we can dip in,
Okay.
we would have to have a special town meeting.
right.
Okay. Well, what I can do tomorrow is I can get this back to them, assuming that you do want to sign it and make a call to Donna, loop in AJ,
Mhm.
and then see, we have to answer the question first.
and I think, and when if we wanted to wait to sign until we knew from Donna, this, I believe, falls under the emergency meeting type thing where we wouldn't have to have 48 hours.
Oh,
because
for
of the
posting.
emergency. Right,
Yeah.
because this is an emergency situation. I think that's having walked through that a couple of times with her where it wasn't, going through the checklist of what actually is an emergency. This might fall under that.
What's the deadline? You said the emergency was declared December 3rd,
3rd.
14
We're
days.
at 14 days. They spoke
Today.
with the Office of Dam Safety, who said that they say
Shovel.
that they're gonna get back to us. So I mean, the Office of Dam Safety still has to review and get back to us, but that I would anticipate that they were doing that quickly because of the 14-day notice.
Right. And it's the Office of Dam Safety that says the 14 days, right? So I would feel better knowing how we're gonna pay for this.
There's no if, right? There's no if we're gonna pay for it. We have. to
Well,
pay.
how we're gonna pay for
Right.
it and not. I don't know if I'm just being a stickler here, but.
No, it's
Not committing yeah, I mean. It's a little bit, it's a little tricky. And we could do an emergency meeting tomorrow
Yeah.
night,
Yeah,
for
we
now,
can do
you know,
it.
10 minutes or whatever, just to.
Maybe I can see too if someone from GCA could join us at that emergency meeting and kind of explain so that you can ask these questions.
Of them. Okay,
Yeah.
what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a CPA meeting at, not till 7, so
Okay.
if,
Do you have time during the day? We have a personnel board.
I do. I have a meeting at 8:30 and I have one at 1 o'clock, but other than that, I'm okay.
and what time is your personnel?
That's not,
5:30.
yeah.
So we could do it at 5 o'clock?
Yep.
You think
Tomorrow?
that's gonna be enough
There
time?
might not be enough time.
No,
for-
4:30? Is 4:30 okay
I could
for
do,
you?
yeah, as long as like I said, at 1 o'clock, I have a meeting for them. So whatever,
Just wait tomorrow.
otherwise,
I
and if I have to be
4:30
late
should be
to
good for
this-
me.
Yeah, I have a 3:15 doctor's appointment at that, Northampton. Might be a little close,
That's a little
but I
close.
could always call in,
Yeah, we could.
right, like on my way here. Yeah, it's just something I can't change. Okay, 4:30. I could do that. I have the Spear Building meeting at 10:30 tomorrow morning here. I could do noon.
Okay.
And my 1 o'clock's on Zoom or Teams.
Yeah, I could do. No, I could probably do noon. Well, no, I can do noon.
You can't do noon?
I have physical therapy tomorrow.
All right. So what times are okay?
Yeah, right. I think we'll be done probably 1:45.
Okay. So would like 2
2,
to 4:30 work?
I could do 2 I have to be in Northampton at 3:15, so if
Okay.
it was at 2, I have to leave at 2:30. But
Do you just wanna do, I mean, we have a personnel board meeting, but, 30?
Does 1:30 work? No, that's too early.
No, I probably won't be done with my
Yeah.
other thing. We're,
Yeah.
we're getting our new.
Well, it's also gonna be dependent on GZA. I can
Yeah.
ask them for 4:30 and see what they say.
all right, but if, I mean, I know I'm not available, I'll be driving like 45 minutes. So 2:30 to
You can
4
talk.
o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I could be looking, I could be zooming.
Oh.
Should we just shoot for 4:30?
We can shoot for 4:30.
Okay. Yeah,
That's fine with
that's
me.
good. Okay.
Someone can always join late.
And if I'm a little bit late, okay.
I am sending them an email right now.
I'm gonna check with Donna about that free cash use.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow morning, but I can at least ask GZA if they can join us. What they say.
So it's a 4 meeting.
Oh, God, I know, I have.
I know.
Yes.
The calendar, I love it. Easy out there. That doesn't look too bad for this week.
I have 2 other town meetings tomorrow, so that'd be 3. I have
I had
Spear.
select board,
Yeah.
and now second. Board.
Mm.
God,
You're getting off easy, Eric.
I know.
really?
I was hoping you wouldn't notice this.
Into one of my meetings. Okay. 4:30. I'm just gonna put that in 4:30.
I saw the town hall for 4.
All right, and so we will hold off on this.
And
That's
that's
good.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
that
that's
is tomorrow, right?
I should read the date. That tomorrow's the 18th.
Sorry, I hate having incomplete information, but
Well, it seems like it's been a little bit of a moving
yeah.
target here, and they're getting you stuff late, so.
Okay,
Phew.
so. All right, anything else? TA report.
Yes. Yes, a couple quick things. So I would like to invite you all to our staff meeting as listeners only, on January 6th at 10 a.m. The Personnel Board has approved a new draft of the handbook. And so I would like to, I've sent it out to staff so that they can review it prior to the meeting. Because I really want to make sure that we get their feedback on that.
Is that Zoom or is that live?
It's live.
Okay.
And then, so once they review it, I will take that to Donna for final review and then bring it to you for adoption. But there's,
Does that include our health insurance contributions in that policy?
Yeah.
it does talk about
Does
that,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Health insurance
Okay.
benefits are a section in that.
Yep. Okay. I mean, it might be good to just alert people that day when you're reviewing it that we're gonna be looking at health insurance.
Yeah.
Because of the,
Yeah, I know from
yeah.
a business, at least from a business point of view, as opposed to municipal point of view. It made more sense for us, I think, as a small business, to pay 100% of people's self-insurance.
Yeah.
And have a high deductible and tell people you'd refund them for the high deduct, if they spent their money.
So that's how
That's what-
my company
yeah.
does it. So
Yeah.
they pay a certain percentage, we pay a certain percentage. It's the 40, 50, $4 a week for myself. And what they do is it's a high deductible plan, but they give us the $5,000 for deductible on the insurance. They also give us the $1,000. When we have a deductible, we swipe it's the difference card, but it's like a health savings account card.
Yeah.
And it automatically, there's no exchange between me and anything that
Oh, that's
it
cool.
gets paid.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Right.
It's cheaper because you often do not, everybody does not reach that 5 or that 1,000, but you're saving a lot on the other.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You know, even to the point of copays. Our copays are listed as 60. I only end up paying 25.
Right.
They pay that. They pay the copays there's a certain amount in that, I think it's 2,000.
Mm.
The deductible's 5,000, the prescription has some money in it too, as a deductible, so, you know, and they pay less, and we pay less on the side, on the other side.
Well, at least in terms of, I mean, my attitude was always this, that if you, let's say you have a 75-25 split, you have to pay the employees enough money so that in post-tax money, after the money,
Right,
they can pay that 25%.
right, right.
So if you're gonna have to pay them more money so they can spend the money
Right,
to buy
right.
insurance. So I remember talking to the accountant, I said, so why don't we just pay for all the insurance and the company can deduct the money, which doesn't really matter in the town, but they can deduct the money, write it all off. The employee gets a tax-free benefit, which is all health insurance. They don't pay taxes on that.
Right.
I mean, everybody's gonna win here
It's
except
an
the
option
government.
to look at when.
Yeah,
if
I don't
you
know.
look at
I
it.
think it's a little different with a municipality. You're not trying to duck out of the money.
I see a good candidate for the insurance committee. Yay, Eric.
Well-
Well, because you've been there.
No, I know, I've been.
Offered,
There's, which
yeah,
I didn't think until after we talked about it, but there are changes in those prescription costs that caused it to go up.
right.
Those particular.
But he said even though they change it, it's still gonna go up 20% next year.
Yeah, they
Potentially,
tell us that.
But the prescription is just, it's just hitting now those price changes and decreases. So, you know, it's gonna be a year lag, obviously.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're handling the issue that caused it to go so high.
Right.
Well, I will say it was also high cost of like cancer drugs. And even as far back as the summer, they were saying to expect a double-digit increase. So I think Ryan was trying to be realistic in terms of what we might see, but he's confident it'll at least be 2 digits.
Well, plus they've held it down for a long time.
Well, they
have
did.
have not
That was
made
part of the
increases.
Yeah,
So I think they may have done that too long,
yeah,
frankly.
yeah.
Anyway,
So tying into the handbook and the insurance and everything, I've drafted a Corey policy that is based off of Mass General Law. And one thing I would really like to do too with all employees and volunteers is to re-quarry them. You know, we're a small town. I wouldn't say that this should be a yearly occurrence, but periodically it is a good idea to
that's
extra to go back in and re-quarry people so that we
We do our new people all.
Yes,
right?
yes. And particularly anyone who's going to work with children or seniors, they automatically have to be quarried.
But we query, volunteers, like people who are on committees.
Well, you only if they have interactions with seniors or children, a protected class.
And what if they're a senior?
Well, then that doesn't count.
Yeah.
When the council and aging started their med-ride program, anyone. who
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, had to be quarried?
Mhm.
Oh,
Because they were
okay.
interacting directly. with
Yes.
On individual.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But it's good to.
You're protected.
right.
But yeah, so I mean, you do it when you hire people for sure, but this
Right.
is just, you know, for existing employees, just to update all of our records.
Okay.
So if you will approve that, that'll be part of my January 6th discussion.
So we would vote on this on January 6th?
No, if you could vote now.
No. Oh.
That'd be better.
Oh, open your meeting. Oh, okay. All right. I make a motion that we adopt the Corey policy as presented.
Second.
And just to, make sure that we, don't use acronyms, the criminal. Oh,
Yeah, yes.
Record information.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes.
All those in favor?
Carol, I.
Stop right.
Make peace O'Neill, aye.
What does it cost us?
You can do it through police and I don't.
You can do it through the police.
Oh,
You can
okay.
also do it through the state site. I think it's just,
Gail.
Gail has a
That's a
question.
good question.
Haley, should that be included as a town policy? Should that be included on the website list of policies?
Oh, I think so, because I looked under governance and there's similar-esque policies. So yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay,
They're gonna say, I think it's a nominal cost though. I mean, they
Yeah.
want to make it easy for people to.
Yeah, do it.
to do
Okay.
that.
I think it's $20 if you pull your own. Like if I was to.
Oh,
go to the
okay.
Or your website, yeah.
So that was one thing. I was gonna ask, so we're waiting on the library to be incorporated into our insurance policy. We hopefully are gonna get that tomorrow, but well, coincidentally, we are emergency meeting tomorrow, but I was when I didn't know that, I was gonna ask that you authorize me to sign the paperwork for them so that they can feel good and ready to go for the grand opening.
Why don't we authorize you just in case it doesn't come through tomorrow?
Okay, perfect.
So I'd make a motion, we authorize Haley to sign the, what was it, was the
Oh.
insurance for the
The new
library building?
Yep.
Second.
Those in favor?
Carol, I,
Um,
and Mary Ann told me that,
Dark red. Sorry. Fading on there.
and Mary Ann said the January 10th is probably going to be the library event, so.
I believe so, yes.
Tentatively. And I think when I asked her today, she said there'll be like 3 different events on that day, so people can't make,
Oh, fun.
like, yeah, they were dividing it up so that it was big, yeah,
Nice.
So January 10th is
Yeah.
library day?
yeah. Already have a conflict.
Oh, well,
I
that's-
have something too, but it's
Four
not.
towns that day. See, the Four Towns meeting is
Oh,
that day.
right, I noticed that.
I knew it was a rang a
Yeah,
bell.
and I have another conflict.
Ah.
That's your birthday? Whoa.
You're worried about that?
Oh, God.
Well, that's fun.
I'd love to have.
So we have to
a
think about it. 'cause
Birthday.
It's not great timing for us. This is a huge event that obviously we all want to be there
Yeah.
to celebrate and we're
Well,
tense.
the 4-town meetings are not that long. They're only from 9:30 till 9:30.
Yeah, they're gonna do it at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's gonna be 10 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was gonna be-
Probably. I think she was gonna do what she told me today, because I was just asking her kind of what the schedule was, that they were gonna do like adult sort of thing and then something for kids with activities and something for the teens later in the day.
Fun.
These guys are real serious party people.
Good.
That's a long day.
So it would be, yeah, we would be in the morning, so it would be in conflict with Four Towns meeting. It's bad. It's bad for
Yeah.
everybody
It is.
in
The
town.
weather doesn't go
Far enough.
enough. I was gonna check to see if there was a. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Could we,
Oh.
could we talk to the Four Towns people and see if they would be willing to move to the next
You can-
Saturday?
That never hurts to ask.
Would, yeah,
Yeah.
I think just say Shutesbury, be very hard for Shutesbury to be there that Saturday morning. You know, everybody from the, finance committee, select board.
Yeah.
Okay.
either that or just start it, not start it. Our thing should not start till noon or something. And then it would be safe.
That could adjust.
Because the 4-town meetings are
Could.
generally efficient and fast.
Well,
I gotta
this
say
one
that.
may not be, because I know that they're trying to also open it up for like more back and forth discussion.
Oh,
So we may not be in for a short meeting.
okay.
Why don't we just tell them it's my birthday?
We could definitely do that. All right, I will check and see, because
That 10th is a tough day and Nicholas's birthday. Now I have to put that down.
right.
Right.
This is a big one, Melissa.
Yeah, right. Bicentennial lady.
Just a couple more things and then I'm all done. Nat can join us. Nat from GZA can join us tomorrow.
He can.
So that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Awesome.
Ken, are you willing to join the finance committee at their meeting on January 7th at 6:30? So that would be a Wednesday. They want to do a joint meeting to kind of talk about the budget and trends,
So what time? 6:30?
6:30, and they only meet on Zoom. So
That's fine for me. The 7th, you're saying?
January 7th.
So it's a Wednesday night. That's unusual for them, isn't
well,
it?
I told them I couldn't do Tuesday because that's your meeting now.
Okay. Jeff, finance committee.
Make sure it's all on my calendar.
Yeah.
FinCom and that.
I need a
Yeah.
personal
What time?
secretary.
6:30.
Well, this is an amendment to the Google Calendar. Now it says January 7th, nothing planned. Like, there's nothing on this schedule for
Not
that.
yet.
Okay, and then
Um,
we meet on the 6th at 5:30 or 5?
5.
Okay,
That's a normal meeting.
yes, okay. I just have to, I didn't have it on my calendar.
You're all strong.
Yes,
Sorry, so what time is that meeting? This 1:20, this 7?
on the 7th at 6:30.
Listen, for my last few months, could you have me, like, at least have 3 or 4 meetings every week, so I
I think so, yeah.
can feel,
Yeah.
so I could feel the feel the relief when it's over.
My last item of business was I went to Kohl's and got a ton of paint samples. So
Oh,
if people want
fun,
to,
yes.
Brennan and I were interior decorators today.
Oh, good.
Played around with the colors, so I can bring them here. if you
Yeah.
want.
So, our painter is going to be able to start next week, this weekend. Yeah, so we
Our
have to-
painter name's Carl.
Carl.
Yes, our painter.
Yeah, ooh,
So
There you go.
these are some, this is kind of more of my adventurous picks. They're kind of green. Does match our other decor.
Thanks.
No, it's kind of funny because it looks a lot like the paint chips on I picked out ones for my house.
And,
These are, there's 2 of each because I didn't feel comfortable taking more than that.
right.
Oh,
And
Maybe I
the,
should've-
and the trim is going to be white and the pole's probably white. right?
Well,
Or
I
no,
think, yeah.
maybe we do the poles
That's-
polka dotted. Yes.
And this is the book of off-white colors,
oh,
which you have to have that for your contrast. Let me move this. So these are like browns, kind of like beigey browns.
Uh-huh.
These are your more like silvery kind of palette. Yes, taupe. That was what I was looking for. And then these are kind of like a cool green. So it's, as you can see, I kind of went crazy. But
No, it's good to have choices.
I like choices.
Yeah.
So what had I been thinking of? So there was one color that I really liked. It's this Nantucket gray.
Uh-huh.
And I thought,
Green, but that's
yeah,
to say that, like,
Nantucket
I love that. I think it pairs really nice with the Swiss coffee. That's the off-white.
And that would be.
So here's a thought I had. Just a wild thought. You
Wild.
could paint the doors brighter color than the rest of the walls. It's kind of like a Nordic thing
Mhm.
where you see those pictures online
Yeah.
and it's like they have like the bright colored doors and then everything else is pretty muted. So that's an option. Could go traditional, the more classic route with the white trim or an off-white trim if you like, a different kind of color palette. But I think what you want to stick with is like the taupes and like something kind of green. Yeah, you want warm colors. There's definitely, I don't think you want to do cool. At some point, I would recommend getting a carpet for this floor so it won't be blue anymore. It could be that.
Could be what tile?
Yeah, like a neutral kind of tile, but I think that's nice. I think this palette here also has some greens, which are pretty. And there's one color. Where is it?
Browns.
Might be. Actually, I think it's that paler one.
This one?
Yeah, let me see that. Oh
These look like
yeah,
this.
there's this one too. But I think you definitely want something with like a warm undertone. Don't
Right.
want to do cool. So like something like the Wind's Breath.
Yeah.
I just love the names.
That's
My favorite thing. Or Cedar Key. That was one that I also really liked because it's like it doesn't look like a dingy color. It's still bright enough and warm enough, and it plays really nicely with like the wood tones here and the fabric of the chairs.
Which one is that one?
Cedar Key.
And tell me again what we would be doing. No,
No, we're just in normal.
um, we would be keeping the trim white or no and
Well,
the pole?
You have options. So like you could choose to do, you could do the cedar as the trim, and you could go for like,
Or white.
yeah, the names are kind of outrageous. You know, you could do something like that and do that for the trim and maybe augment that with like a Tate olive or something like that if you want the walls darker. Otherwise, yeah, you could look for, you know, do this color here, this, and then match it with another off-white. But I think if you go with this, you don't want plain white for the trim because it's gonna look too bright against the
Yeah,
paint.
it'll look like this. Say you went super white,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
so you'd want something that's like a little bit more cream colored, right, Eric?
Yeah.
so it's funny how the color changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I have to tell you, I'm married to an artist.
Yeah.
I make no color decisions.
That's Michael.
You should have brought her.
I don't do colors.
I don't do colors. I mean,
Like,
it's a marriage
yeah,
thing. You just
yes,
don't.
yes. Yeah.
he's doing his own house.
Yeah.
But that's just my thought. I think if you do like a tan, because I don't like gray, I'll be honest. I think it kind of looks like prison walls.
Yeah.
So I think you want like some kind of taupe with a warm undercurrent.
I don't like putty.
No, I don't like
Too
pretty
yellow.
either.
I don't like these ones that say white, they're brown.
Michael's only rule was no beige, and I do
Mhm.
everything beige, you know? I'd come home, I said, oh, I picked out some carpet. It's beige, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does
Then I-
go
then I
with
said,
everything.
now I'm into
But you forget
colors, big
everything
time.
you're supposed to go with.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna let you guys, Melissa and,
Okay.
I don't do colors now.
Oh,
You
wow.
don't do color?
Well, you know who my consultant is?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, nice. Get him in here.
Chris, here, I need your color eye. Oh my God.
They're colorized.
He's not colorblind, is he?
No.
Well, that's good.
My only question would, don't make it too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the paint always comes out darker
Mhm.
than in
Well,
the,
because there's not a lot of light.
right, we
No.
don't have a lot of
And you
natural
think about
light.
it at night, right?
Yeah.
That's when a lot of the
Yeah,
things.
we're picking up paint
Colors.
colors for the.
As it was
Where's the hot pink? That's
The
what.
hot pink, yeah, the Barbie.
It's
Barbie
still,
color.
it's still at the store.
I think we've kind of taken this color route out.
Out,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so we're over here.
Here was one, these two wall trim. Right, I got that right?
Yep.
Wall trim. You were pointing out another one over there and I,
Well, it just depends on if you want to infuse like a more, I don't know, like a color that's not beige. You know, that's a separate question.
I was gonna say, we could let Brendan go if he's still here.
Oh.
Probably.
Yes, Brennan is.
No, Brennan is staying until this. I don't care if it takes till 11 o'clock.
These minutes are getting long.
Like this is another one. I don't know if I'm keen on this one, but this one is good.
Why isn't Brennan down here if he was?
Yeah, right.
Very important?
That's true.
there's another one, Eric, Elmira White.
Scheduling all these meetings.
He's doing minutes.
Ugh.
But I like the Swiss coffee. I think the
Yeah,
Swiss
which one is
coffee,
that?
it's this pairing right here.
Oh.
That's
So
probably
it's
my
not
favorite.
pure white, like
No.
this super white. It's got almost the undertone of this in it.
Yeah. I think they're very complementary, and I think they go, like I said, really well with the green and the wood tones that we already have.
That looks kind of yellow to me. I don't, maybe it's just my eyes.
It does cut us against the white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Do you have,
That name's super
do you have a
Oh.
pair of scissors?
Upstairs I do. Do you want me to go grab them?
Yeah, I don't have my pocket knife on.
Okay.
It's gonna make a little hole so the other white disappears.
oh,
If you
okay.
make a little
Yeah.
hole and then you can see how they actually work together.
Yeah. You're a pro.
Usually you have a piece of fabric like to pull color,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
but we're kind of reinventing.
What's that?
Just paint colors can,
It's-
meetings can go long, but paint colors seem to go long. Right, discussion.
This actually looks pink.
It does. My house was that color for well,
Does
I really liked it.
Yes.
May be a tiny bit darker than, yeah.
Yeah, does this look familiar? Remember the living room? We did a little too dark. We went from
Yeah.
gray walls to that,
Yeah.
like forest green.
No,
Then we
it's
bounced
like-
back a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna, which one was it that we liked here?
No.
So I'm just gonna cut a slight hole.
Or
Oh.
do a rectangle.
Yeah, I'm going to,
You don't have to do a hole, just do
yeah, I'm going to do a. Keep action for a second, because it takes out the white color, because that's the one thing that, my biggest complaint is that they don't have holes in the middle of them.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go square.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't look yellow.
No, it doesn't. Not when it's against,
Mhm.
yeah, that.
And yeah, so I think if you look at it too.
You hold it up
Yeah.
And in
For the
light-
camera or for
for
you?
me.
Yes. Yeah, and it goes with like the fabric again.
Right.
Cause you've got
Yep.
that.
And the green.
also-
And then you had the green, yeah.
And the blinds are that off-white color.
What color clothes should we wear in the room?
Huh?
What color clothes? You have to coordinate.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna be all off if we wear the wrong colors. That's the
You-
problem.
true.
We're not doing the ceiling because ceiling's in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
that much
definitely.
more work, yeah.
Yeah.
And were you thinking the poles, we would do something else?
Well, we have that foam. Do we want to do that on the poles? I mean, what's the color, what's the base color under here?
There's a few colors here. Not dark. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
God,
like a
we do have
mustard.
to,
It matches that yellow.
It's like a
That's
mustard.
there.
we do have to do those.
I mean, personally, because I like that kind of style, I like just the look of this, the metal. Yeah. Because I think it adds a component that you don't typically get. But you could, but I think if you paint the poles, they're gonna chip.
Yeah.
What about, let me investigate. What about something that's like this? They have racks,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
right?
That was the.
It is.
Yeah, that would look really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll give it some structure, some texture.
The only concern, if we get this down to bare metal, is it's
Well,
damp down here.
Oh,
And it will rust.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And if anybody's touching it, so you'd have to just treat it with like a clear coat of some sort to protect it from people's hands,
Mhm.
from the moisture. That's one possibility if you want to keep it bare metal.
That's true.
Let me ask, I know we used something at one of our projects and they wrapped the pole in it.
Okay.
Let me ask what that was.
Okay.
Just get a couple of big pool noodles. You cut. Nobody gets hurt. If they walk into it, nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then we can get colorful with it, you like yellow, orange.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already had mustard.
Ta-da.
Yeah, there you go.
Stripes.
Huh. You could
Um,
have people paint it.
yeah, what we don't want, see,
Make it a tree.
we were noticing when Carl was here that gold, that was.
That's the original
painted,
color.
Yes, yeah,
Oh, really?
yes, yeah.
That's what the whole
So
room.
gold's gonna be
It's
redone.
a cafeteria in my classroom.
It's gonna be a brighter, because this doesn't get, in the winter time or at night.
Right.
Especially in the winter.
Right.
You don't want a dark,
Yeah,
don't want a dark color, so, and there's some warmth in that color here. Looks like
Yeah.
you guys are leaning towards.
I think you guys had it, right? Did the.
Yes, I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that color, Eric?
Okay.
Fun, beautiful.
Okay.
You see,
It's
The concrete's
But it seems like this is.
I
a
have
little-
other food here, so I brought all this
That
food
seems
tonight.
colder. Oh, you brought.
Yes,
food?
I
Yeah, they
actually
do that.
liked that
Green
one and then I was like, it's not cooler
Yeah.
on the under.
Oh, my
And I
God.
had to put.
Yeah,
Louis-
I think
Wait,
it's
how
fun.
long is this paint discussion going? Because you
No,
brought
no,
snacks.
no,
I was gonna say, I got work to do. I can't stick around.
finishing stuff. I was just figuring.
Thank you for
something
your color
for the
consulting.
road.
Yeah.
Here all night.
I
Okay.
think hold on to some of those green chips if we ever have to do an accent color.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
All right,
we could do an accent color, definitely.
okay. All right, so I can go, I texted Carl and he said it would be great if I could get all the materials or we could get all the materials. I don't know if you or Brennan want to go get them or I can get them on Friday. No, I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. Or I'll send Michael down to Kohl's. Do you have an
Right.
account there?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So you can just charge it. And did he say how much paint we need?
I don't think so, actually. That was one thing I was, and I
Do
have
you have
no
a
idea how
sense?
that's.
It's not gonna
It's
be.
gonna be a good,
prime.
it's right, so it should probably be a paint that has a primer in it.
And probably mean,
And there's a lot of doors, so I would say like it's just maybe 2 gallons.
Of each?
No, well, the trim paint I would have to be scrubbable. You know,
So
let them know what you're using for high.
And the trim has to be a gloss or?
I wouldn't go that bright, 'cause
Okay.
that could brighten.
mold stuff in them too.
Most of them do, whenever they have primer in it, most of them do now.
You give me the two, this and this, okay?
So I would say the trim probably, yeah, probably 2 gallons of each
gallon.
one. There's a lot of trim here.
That seems like a lot for the trim.
Well, yeah, but look at all the doors you have on that one side. Yeah, and that's gonna
Okay.
make at least a couple.
And this is the trim.
And then you'd have some too real left over if you had needed
Yeah.
touch-ups later on.
And then it,
I'll
so the
get you that.
trim gets us a semi-gloss?
Yeah, a semi or even a satin, just as long as it's an enamel that,
Satin.
Yeah.
And then the walls are just,
not flat. 'Cause it-
Not-
No, that pulls
Okay.
stuff out, that pulls dirt. So eggshell or satin.
eggshell or satin
Satin's a little more scrubbable. It's good.
or satin.
Yep, just tell them what you're using it for and they'll.
Okay.
know.
Right, this is the wall. And, okay,
And he said sandpaper and all of those.
yeah, he gave us a list, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna fix that
Yes. Yep.
area there, and then, can somebody, I mean, we're gonna have him measure, but then, we wanna cover all of these pipes. And Melissa, I think, did you find? like-
Yes, I have.
Yes, I sent it to, yep, I sent it
Okay.
to her. Yeah, measure those. These can easily come off. Those that I sent to you either have a seam or there's a special spot to make the seam. And then just, we could put them up. I went to look at one of our projects and we are able, where they've tucked it underneath the,
Mhm.
hangers, pipe hangers, we can actually, cut it so it covers, you won't see the pipe hangers from below.
Those aren't split, I don't think.
No, but they easily can be. Those
Okay.
can easily come off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually went to
Get
Home
new-
Depot and
new
played around with them too.
Cover, okay.
Yeah, so we get the new covers on, those will blend.
So we'll do that after the painting.
Yeah, I might as well. That way, you know, just as like one of those finishing things. And if
Okay.
Carl's gonna do that, then I'm certainly willing to volunteer.
Oh,
Yeah.
and one other thing I wanted to say is these go well too with the sound panels. So if we decide we want a wall mount.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
really good
okay,
stuff.
good. Yeah, that was gonna ask. And we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna get like a quart of black paint.
Okay.
That. Yeah, that'll be fun. Part of blackboard.
We just like to scrape that tape off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porch.
Look good in there.
Yeah. You're right about the flooring.
Yeah.
Problem with rugs is that there's I tracked in so much crap. This floor gets so dirty. Even when you,
It would help if we had more that ran the length of the, so you know how you have that one that's got the fingers on it?
Yeah,
That easily is just, you take it out and hose it off. It's very easy to.
yeah. I mean, I always scuff my feet, as
I do
I'm coming
too.
in, but
But if you had one of those, the full length of the hallway-ish,
Yeah.
then.
we have
Those
money
could
left.
be-
Yeah.
Place.
If you had wool rugs, though, really wouldn't have to, wool would have to be because of mold.
But they have the commercial ones, and then they have them in like the tiles that you buy, so you just.
Yeah,
lay
the
it down
back down tiles, yeah.
Yeah.
like that, so.
Okay,
And then if you have to replace a piece, it's easy to replace.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Awesome.
think a decision's made,
Yeah.
2 gallons of each.
Yeah, then we have
and
enough for,
A quart
I'll
of
look
the
into
black
the-
paint.
I'll look into the wraps.
You
You
do,
do it floor to ceiling, which might look.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah, would be really.
Yeah.
cool.
Just dress it up a little bit.
okay. So if we don't have anything in here next week, right?
No.
Because everything's gonna be covered when he's painting. And then we talked about trying to get done by the 30th.
That's
So-
all.
You can do the windows too, or the windows gonna stay like that.
No, we'll say the windows. So they'll stay like that. That is the biggest pain in the neck trying to
Exactly.
keep those.
Yeah, those come out. Those come out, Rita.
I think you want to keep it wood tone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those also come out.
That's fine with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
they're only temporary. That's when you wash the windows, you take
My
those.
God, I have those indoors in my house and I'm like, why did we ever do that?
To do what?
They- Have that, like we have French doors with the
Oh,
cross
yeah.
thing,
Oh,
but you
yeah.
can't take them out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
know.
yeah, these ones pop out.
And I had a painter come in and he said, oh, I'll paint all that. And I said, yeah, you're not, no. No, you're not painting that. I had already spent so much money on paint, really expensive.
There's a stuff you can put on the windows. So you put it on the windows
And then you spray.
and then, no, you can paint.
Yeah,
It's like decoupage stuff.
yeah,
And then when you're done, you just pull it all.
pull it off, yeah.
Right
Oh,
out.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, whenever you want to come paint it, Marty. There's a nice French door.
I never take anything. Rita.
Whoa, you're good.
Yeah.
Do I hear that we're adjourned?
Yes, so moved.
Yes.
Want to tell them anything about the Rehoboth
Oh,
No.
yes, sorry. They are,
before we adjourn?
we did meet with them rather briefly, but they are interested in working with the town. They obviously understand the emergency nature of this work and the things that we discussed were probably like a privacy fence and some kind of gated access for the town.
Oh,
so
good.
that they could maintain the integrity of their property, but if we need
And private.
to, yes. We would do that, so.
And maybe, well, this is a question to me, was that question like a walkway down to the,
Yes, like a path
Yeah.
for people.
because the town's land is the land that goes like that, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, like their land is this land and
Yeah.
our land is that land.
Is that,
But this land.
you're
that-
talking about, as we're looking at the dam on the right hand, where their house is, yeah.
And where, if you're looking up that hill like that, you could cut into that hill like a path.
Oh, like a
Oh,
goat path.
Like you're at some
Walk.
state park or something. And you probably have to put a fence up there or some kind of thing people could hold on to so they wouldn't fall. The only thing is about that path, it does negate the possibility, or it doesn't negate the possibility, but it makes it more open to people to say, oh, I'll just walk in there.
there's a path.
It's inviting.
It's inviting. That's what I'm looking for.
But, yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but
So, just another caution, and maybe it's something you want to double check if you're talking to Donna, is if we're doing something on private property,
Mhm.
there's something called the anti-aid amendment, which is state law
Right.
that we can't, so we're just gonna have to come to some agreement that that
Yeah.
it might be better for us to have a payment to them, let them get the fence than us
Yeah,
arranging for the
we
fence.
had left it as basically, we'll check with our council.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get back to
okay,
you.
okay, good.
And,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
said it's around the holidays, so you probably won't hear back from us until January.
But they're gonna have to go in now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be.
No, they did ask that we update them, so that I will be.
yeah, they said
Okay.
fine. They seemed.
They
up for
said
that.
fine to go
Yeah.
ahead on the emergency, but
Right.
long
And
term.
somebody's plowed down there. I went down to there.
They have a tenant, so maybe they pay for
Well,
that.
They plowed that right down to the dam, like it goes through down the.
Okay.
And it's like a big track, so it looks like it might be, maybe the town did, I don't know. maybe, I don't know whether we did it or not, but
Someone with a tractor.
someone with a tractor with big tires.
Oh, okay.
Plowed it.
Well, it might be water flow with those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for, getting that and,
Well, let's just start it, but I think, we were, I think both felt that they were pretty open to making it happen.
yeah,
Yeah. They definitely seem very positive. and
good.
Just good.
Good.
So.
It did seem to me like that we went with the idea of a fence, like we wanted something high enough so people can't just jump over it, because that's what people will do.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
Get curious and poke around.
Just put a little sign that
Electric
you're,
fence.
no.
Smile,
You're being filmed, you know, you're,
Yeah. Sure.
yeah. You know, so you have no trespassing and then,
Yeah, I think there's a big enough fence, like as a friend of mine used to say, it'll keep the honest people out.
Yeah.
The honest thieves out,
that's
the
all
honest thieves out. That's the-
yours. This is mine. This is town's. Okay. All right. Did we adjourn?
Yeah, now.
Yes,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
I.
Aye.
Aye.
We're-
Okay.
We're out.
That's all.
God.